All right, aloha, everybody. Day 8, we made it. Today's theme is melt. How do we melt? Well, we're going to do the practice of feel rest. Feel rest is one of my favorites. I use it all the time. Basically, is finding and connecting with rest that's anywhere available within our body. Or if we can't find it, we can initiate it through relaxing and resting ourselves purposefully. All right, so with that, we're going to be getting started in a minute. Don't worry about the shirt. I'm not trying to hypnotize you. Seriously, though, it's stories and songs of the people. It's the INITC organization. It's an international initiative for collaborative transformation. It's a great organization that I've learned a lot from. So I proudly wear their shirt today. Anyways, let's get some rest, all right? We'll see you on the other side. All righty then, let's get started. Settle into your favorite meditative posture. I like to sit upright if I can. And then we just stretch up and settle into position, and let's get started. I invite you to close your eyes if you're comfortable with that. If not, you can always just do a soft gaze over your nose. And let's just kick it off with our usual 3 deep breaths in to get started. And then 1 breath in and exhale. And as we exhale, we can release a little tension in our head and our forehead and cheeks if we can. Another deep breath in. Then you can exhale through the nose or the mouth, whatever works best for you. But as we're exhaling, we're continuing to try and infuse some rest, some relaxation into our muscles. And nice, 1 more big deep in breath. And maybe try and kind of sink into a whole body relaxation. And that might not be available to you as of yet, but hopefully we'll find some of that relaxation or some rest through this process. And you can just return to your normal breathing. The idea here is to try and identify where we can feel rest within our body, whether it's already present or something that we create. So with that, I invite you to maybe just look around with your awareness, with your attention, and notice through the feel side of experience. Remember, that's your somatic, your physical, somatic, and emotional experience. And we're just going to look in that sensory field of feel for relaxed states. For example, my feet are pretty relaxed, restful on the floor. There's not a lot of activity going on. They're just resting gently on the floor, not a lot of muscles engaged. And I'm just exploring that. I'm just kind of tuned into that. Maybe you have something like that available for you, whether it's your feet or your shoulders or your neck, as we relaxed it earlier, your face, wherever, anywhere on your body. We're just looking for something that's rest, not active. And when we get there, we really soak into it. Pay close attention to it and observe and connect with it as deeply as we can to that restful state. And you can just repeat that process either in that same area or through kind of an open awareness. Continue to float your attention around your body, looking for other restful areas to soak into for 3, 6, 10, as long as you like, seconds. And sometimes it can be a bit challenging. So you can always create rest as well. That's by purposefully relaxing something like we did earlier as we relaxed our forehead and our cheeks, our shoulders, our face, anywhere that we can, maybe on a nice deep exhale, relax. Maybe it's your legs, your torso, wherever's the most restful, or maybe not even the most restful, wherever your attention is drawn. Let's just look for that rest, and when you find it, soak into it. Another way to detect rest is to just work with neutrality. And by that I mean maybe something that isn't necessarily fully relaxed, but isn't highly active either. Like your hands, for example, might be resting gently on your lap, but they might be in some particular position that is slightly engaged, not fully relaxed, but it's a neutral sensation as it's right in the middle. Because it's such a inactive state, there's just not a lot going on, we could consider that restful. Just plant your awareness into it. Soak into it deeply. Rest. And if it helps, you can even use the label rest as you find it and soak into it. Rest. If you find yourself getting tired, about to fall asleep, and you want to continue the meditating, you just offer you can readjust and stretch up again. Maybe take a nice deep breath. You can even open your eyes and let a little light in, and soft gaze over the nose, but that little light can help keep us awake and aware as we are using our inner connection to rest somewhere within the field experience. Rest. And sometimes when we're in this process of identifying and soaking into the restful aspects, it can be very calming and restful. But as we release energy and rest and kind of surrender into it, sometimes challenges can arise or come up. Different energies or thoughts or things that can distract us or even be challenging. And you always have the option of turning towards it and exploring, or to continue returning your attention, your awareness to rest somewhere, even if that rest is relatively small compared to the challenge, will strengthen your skills to maintain contact with the rest if a relative large discomfort arises. And we would just allow that discomfort, the energy that came up, to diffuse in the background as we were training our attention to where we want it to be, in this case, into a restful experience within our body. And that can even be a lack of emotional experiences or a peaceful emotional body. You can even consider that rest. And you can return back to that same restful experience that you've been exploring this whole time. You can move between restful experiences. You can create more rest. But we're just maintaining a connection, a consistent awareness of rest. Drawing our awareness and noting how it arises, how it feels. As closely as we can. You may notice the more time you spend, the more there is to notice. Those restful aspects. All right. Well, wherever you are, we're going to start wrapping it up here. So I invite you to maybe maintain a little background contact with that rest, or just know that that rest is always available for you to tap into in times of need or in times of desire to continue to explore it more in depth. And it can be a great tool for helping ground and calm yourself if needed as well. I often use it. And with that, I invite you to open your eyes if you haven't already. And thank you for joining me for today's practice, Melt. And hopefully you enjoyed this technique of feel rest. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow, day 9, moving right along. Mahalo.